Hey guys, it's Catherine. I'm back with another quick video, quick tip about life. Today I want to talk to you guys about problems and worries and, all that stuff that we deal with and think about on a daily basis. I used to be a person that used to worry a lot. I used to take on so many problems. My own problems. I used to take on my own problems, create more problems for myself. And I used to especially take on problems, other people's problems, friends, family. You want to try to help people and be of service somehow. And you end up just absorbing so much negativity and drama, which is unnecessary. But I didn't know how to not be involved with drama and negativity, and how to not add more problems. Problems just seem like a normal part of life. So as a result of the problems, I used to deal with so much anxiety, so much worry. And as you guys know, when you're dealing with those kind of emotions, anxiety, worry, it's just not good. It just does not make you feel good at all. I know I used to deal, as a result of that, I used to deal with a lot of depression and mood swings, even a lot of anger. I had a lot of emotions that I just didn't know how to control. And I didn't even know that it was due to all of these problems and all this energy that I was absorbing. So that used to be me. The great thing about me, though, is that I've always been a problem solver. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I always felt like compelled to help people with their problems. So I'm really good at making lists and checking things off and making sure, what needs to get done, prioritizing, very organized. So I think that's one of the reasons why, number one, people come to me or used to come to me for problems, or to talk about their problems. Not necessarily, here's the problem, I want you to deal with it, but in talking and discussing what they were going through, I felt, I want to help somehow. And so I would take it upon myself to also be involved in their problems, and thus make it my own problem as well. So, because I was such a good problem solver and I was very good at like troubleshooting and figuring things out. The thing is that sometimes though, when you're dealing with so many problems, it just doesn't leave room for you to feel free and feel happy and joyful. So I dealt with a lot of negativity and negative energy surrounding me because I didn't know how to let go of these worries and problems and emotions. And I mean, at the end of the day, I consider myself an empathic person. So I'm very sensitive to other people's energies. And I didn't know this before. This was something I recently learned about myself and discovered about myself. But I didn't know what the term was, or what was going on with me before. So I would absorb a lot of people's their energy and what they were going through. So if they were feeling angry, then I would feel the anger too. And I had a lot, especially as a teen, had a lot of bent up anger. And it wasn't until I became older and I started analyzing things and going back and realizing, I really had no reason to be angry at that moment. Even when I'm angry now or worried or whatever the case is now, I check in with myself to try to figure out what is going on, because it may not be something that comes from me. It may be something that I absorb from somebody else. So, I don't want to get too much into it, but if anything I'm saying relates to you somehow in your life, then please continue watching, because it may be that you are taking on more than you need, and you definitely can get rid of all of that. So the purpose of this video, how to not have problems, how to not have worries, how to get rid of all of that. So I'm not going to say that I never worry or I don't ever have problems, but I thank God that any kind of problem I have now is minuscule compared to all of the drama of the past. And those are due to a few things. First of all, as of August of this year, of 2015, I actually have become, I would say, problem free, commitment free, obligation free. I made it my business this summer to try to, or virtually problem free. I'm not going to say I have no problems, but the big problems. This summer, I really tried to focus on taking care of myself, putting my needs first. And that involved me saying no to other people. So one of the first things I want you guys to do is acknowledge that you are in need of being taken care of as well. And the only person that has to take care of you is you. Okay? So make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And a lot of times, taking care of yourself means that you're going to have to say no to other people. Say yes to yourself and say no to other people. Okay? So in saying no, you're saying yes to you. So I really want to make sure that that's you are your number one priority. And I know a lot of people may say that's selfish, but think of it this way. Think of how much, if you are a person that like one that I used to be, that used to take on a lot of problems and worries and try to help people out. If you don't take time to heal yourself, then you're actually doing a disservice to the person that you're trying to help, because you are not in the right state of mind and the right state of being to help anyone, because you yourself have not been taking care of yourself. So it's like the sick taking care of the sick, you know what I mean? So you really want to make sure that you are always taking care of yourself first. That doesn't mean that you don't give back. That doesn't mean that you don't help out. It just means that prioritize yourself. Another tip that I like to give you guys is, if you feel obligated to do something, then I would say don't do it. That's one of the traps when it comes to helping people. Because sometimes, and you guys are going to know the difference. You're going to see it. Sometimes you want to help someone because you genuinely feel in your heart, oh my God, I really want to help this person out. And you do what you can, right? And then there's some people that you feel like, I can help them. I have the tools and resources to help them, but I don't really want to get involved. But they need my help, so I'm going to suck it up and help them. You know, to me, if I have to force myself to help somebody, then, you know, I really want to be cautious with that person. So I would say, if it's somebody that you're very close to, maybe a close friend or family member, what you can do is maybe give them a list of resources, or take it very slowly with them. Take it step by step, because you don't want to involve yourself in their problem. You don't want to commit to helping yourself. So I would say make it known to them. Maybe whatever ideas for solutions you have, present it to them, and just tell them, by the way, you know, I feel for you, and I want to pray for you, and whatever else, words of sympathy. However, I really need to take care of myself. I'm going through something right now, and I really want to make sure I take the time to focus on that. You know, if this person loves you for who you are and understands you, they will accept and acknowledge, like, okay, Catherine did what she could, but she can't really help me. She can't really dedicate 100% to helping me. Maybe now is not the time, you know. Obviously, if they take it negatively, then, you know, it is what it is. I mean, listen, taking care of yourself and making yourself a priority, that means that sometimes, again, remember, you're saying no to some and yes to yourself. So that may mean that you're closing doors with certain people. You're saying, well, you know what? Maybe you're not the type of person for me. People change. Everybody changes. Life is fluid. You know, you don't owe anyone anything. And the same thing, nobody owes you anything. So if saying no to somebody means that you're going to have to cut ties with them, then so be it. You know, again, take care of yourself. You have a life, you have a life purpose, a mission on this planet. You have to take care of yourself. And so if that person's not willing to say, you know what, Catherine needs a break, Catherine needs to do her thing, you know, let me not overwhelm her, blah, 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 then maybe that person is no longer your friend. Maybe that person was never your friend, you know. So that's something that has really, really, really helped me kind of check things off. It was just saying a lot of no's, and also, you know, being honest and assertive. You know, there's a difference between being brutally honest and being just assertive, you know, because I know what it's like when you are you have somebody that you're very close to and they need your help, but you just don't want to. You feel kind of obligated to, and you don't want to do it. Don't do it if you don't want to. And so what you can do is you can assert that you have things going on in your own life that you want to deal with, and you can't dive in to really help this person out. And so it's kind of like they're going to have to take it how it is, or else, you know, are you really my friend? You know, you got to kind of you want to say it in a way that obviously it's not hurtful to them, but at the same time, you are making sure to take care of yourself. So try to find a way in balance. And I've learned to really speak up about what I want. Something that helps if you are pretty shy about speaking up, speaking your truth, then what I would say is once you're talking to a person and maybe they dive into their problems, maybe take a sip of water or a little sip of tea or something. Do something to kind of take a few minutes, a deep breath before you answer and before you respond. One of the things that I used to do is always commit and dive into things. So it wasn't necessarily fixing and helping people and fixing their problems. It would also be committing to things that I didn't really feel fully 100% like engaged in. Committing to maybe helping somebody with their wedding or helping to whatever the case is, things that you feel obligated to do, but you don't necessarily feel like, oh, I really want to do this, I would say yes right away. If I had the time, sure, I'll do it. And it ended up costing me more, costing me with energy, costing me with just my overall well-being, and also just another commitment and another problem and another worry on my plate, And I mean, I'm telling you guys, when you get to the point where you don't really have all that drama and all that stress and all those worries and all those problems like you used to, it is so freeing. And I thank God every day that I really don't have major issues, thank God. I don't have major issues. I don't have, knock on wood, right? I don't have any of that because I made the conscious decision and choice to really put myself first. So I would say is another tip. When it's somebody that you love and you're close to, then and you really don't want to deal with what it is they're going through. Like I said, take some time and just say, however it is that you want to say it, but assert yourself. Very kind of gentle way of saying, I need space, I need time to myself, I'm dealing with my own things, I'm working on myself, I want to take time to work on myself, so things like that. If you kind of bring it back to yourself, then they will understand, because if they love you and care about you, then they're going to understand. And the same thing goes for people who are always in victim mode. I'm going to say, guys, seriously, maybe you have people in your life, in your close circle of friends or family, that they are energy vampires. These are people that always have problems. They're always in victim mode. They always need help, and they just drain your energy. I'm going to say, honestly, avoid them as much as possible. Avoid them like the plague. You want to, as much as you can. I mean, if this person is in your family, it's always, the person is, who's always in your life, maybe physically get away from them, however you can, maybe moving, whatever the case is, because this person will always be leeching off of you. No matter how many times you try to help them, no matter how much advice you give them, they always go back to the same traps, they always go back to the same thing. Because everybody has to work on themselves and everybody has to take care of themselves, if you're dealing with somebody who's like that, who's a leech, who's an energy vampire, these are people that actually depend on other people to take care of them. They do not look within. They don't try to solve their own problems. And so that's not something that you can fix. So don't take that on as a project. So that's another tip for you guys. If you have people like that in your life, avoid them as much as possible, and definitely learn how to say no and assert your power to that person, because my God, so that's another way that you can get rid of all that drama and unnecessary. Remember, I feel like one of the things that really helped me put this into perspective is I have my own problems, and so whenever somebody would come to me with something and I just felt like I don't really have time or energy to really try to talk to you and help you, then I would tell them, I would love to help you, and I pray for you, and I'm listening to you right now, but I really cannot dedicate to your problem right now because I'm working on my own. I'm working on myself, and that really helped me, shut those doors to be able to open other doors for myself. So that is another way, something else that you guys can think of and chew on to be able to just assert yourself when it comes to these people and this energy that tries to suck you in and pull you in to solve problems. Oh, wow. We're already at 15 minutes. Sorry for making this so long, but yeah, hopefully all of this makes sense. Feel free, guys, to tell me in the comments below if this video was helpful, and you know, what other tips and advice you have for those of us who are more sensitive, empathic, who are very compassionate to other people's needs. How can we take care of ourselves more? How can we diminish all these worries and problems and drama in our lives? And honestly, I think a lot of times it has to do with other people more so than with ourselves. We take on so much because we want to help so many people, and it just really drains us, pulls us down, and continues to hinder our progress, and kind of, it's kind of like continuing to dig the hole deeper and deeper. So I am coming to you with this advice from a place that is so great and so free, you know, and I really want you guys to really free yourselves of these obligations and these commitments and these problems, these obligations and commitments which lead to problems, drama, and worry. You know, I really want you guys to live more more joyful, you know, more playful. Think of life as if you're shopping. You know, there are some items you want, some items you don't want. You know, so you're in the mall of the world, you know, and so you pick up the things you want, and the things that you don't want, you leave. And if there's something that you see and that you like, but you don't necessarily, if you have to think about it, then I would say no. That's how I am when I shop. If I have to really think too much about it, then it's an automatic no. So think of it like that. If there's something that you feel like, okay, well, I could, but if there's that but, then you already know it's a no. So say no before you dig yourself deeper. Same thing, just I'll just say it quickly, but commitments. I used to always commit. I said this before about commitments and committing myself. I'm very active within the community and always getting involved in stuff. Just because you get committed with something and you love it right now doesn't mean it's going to always be that same feeling later on. And so another decision I made was that a lot of the things that I originally committed to and have been working on for years no longer serve a purpose in my life. And it's okay. You know, it's kind of like I outgrew it. And that's perfectly fine. That happens, you know. It's just like outgrowing clothes. So then I decided, you know what, I'm going to let these things go. I'm going to let these commitments go because I no longer have that enthusiasm that I used to have. And you know what, it's going to open new doors for me, new opportunities for me. And so that's what you want to do. I feel like that's going to really help to yeah, you know, bring more joy and more of what you actually want in your life. So make room for the things you want, guys. And the way you're going to do that is by letting go of the things you don't want. So anyway, guys, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to subscribe if you'd like to get more advice on life and business and travel. I have different things, different playlists and stuff, but it's overall the same thing. I'm really speaking to the person who's like me, entrepreneurial, creative, maybe sensitive. So if that's you, then definitely stick around. Please feel free to share with your family and friends. And I wish you guys the best of luck with everything. So looking forward to the next videos that I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Toodles!